I am back to do an update on Kaleigh, and I did a 5-week update, but it's too long to upload to YouTube. So I guess I'll have to stop talking so much, and I'm just going to do an update today. And she is 5 weeks and, gosh, 4 days tonight. She's sleeping right now. So, for those of you that don't know, Kaleigh was born on June 11th, 2010 at 10:04 p.m. And she did great for being 4.5 weeks early. And we were discharged from the hospital after 3 days, and then we went home for a day, and then we had to go back to the hospital for 2 nights for jaundice treatment. So she was under the photocell lights for quite a while, and she did really well. So anyway, since then, she was born 7/11, and she was 19.6 inches, and since then she had her checkup after the jaundice treatment because her weight had dropped down to 6 pounds 15 ounces, and then after the jaundice treatment was over, she got back up to 8 pounds. So we were on a feeding schedule of 3 hours, but the pediatrician told us that we didn't have to continue that because she was back up past her birth weight and so quickly. So she actually has stayed on that feeding schedule, but on her own. And at night time, she gets up and eats and gets a diaper change and goes back to sleep. She is a rock star. It's awesome. She is such a good baby. And she is being supplemented right now with formula because I had preeclampsia, which is part of the reason why she was delivered early. And she is on Similac sensitive. And so she does great though. But my milk supply is almost pretty much gone at this point. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything past 6 weeks at this point. And the reason why is because of the medicine that I was on. I was on magnesium sulfate, and I was also given water pills after my C-section. And the reason why is because, for those of you that don't know, the preeclampsia, my blood pressure was like skyrocketing through the roof. Like the magnesium sulfate was to stop me. They were worried about me having seizures. And the water pill after the C-section was to get all that water weight out of me, or to help get the water weight out of me as fast as possible to lower my blood pressure. And I'm still now, even though she is over 5 weeks, I'm still on blood pressure meds now. And I'm hoping to change that very soon. So that affected my milk supply. So I anticipate in about a week she's going to be a full formula-fed baby, which I'm fine with. My attitude before was that I was going to try breastfeeding, and if it worked out, it worked out, and if not, then she was going to be formula-fed. I know a ton of babies who've been formula-fed who've been just fine, so I'm totally comfortable with it. But the one thing that I was going to say is that I use the Dr. Brown's handicraft bottles because that's what the hospital used. And she has to have the preemie nipple because she, I think, was getting so fussy when she was nursing, because I don't think that there was enough milk there and it was coming out fast enough compared to the bottle, that that she was like coughing and choking. So she's on the preemie nipple right now, but I love those bottles, and they started her on the bottle in the hospital when she had jaundice, because part of getting rid of the jaundice is to get them to eat a lot. And since I wasn't creating much of milk supply, obviously they had to feed her formula. So we actually finger fed her with a syringe and tube, and then she started taking the bottle. But she's a rock star and she really likes it. She doesn't take a sucky really. I mean, she does very rarely, but this is the funny thing is that, so at the hospital, during jaundice treatment, they gave her a Soothie and she took it. And then as soon as we got home from the hospital, she stopped taking the Soothie. And so I decided to try a couple of the other suckies that had been given to me at my baby shower. And she now will take different suckies at different times. And that is if she needs one, which, like I said, is very rare. But it's funny. I have to carry on 3 different types of suckies because she takes all 3 of them, but at different times. Like I will, if she gets a little fussy, I will give her one, she'll spit it out, and I'll give her another one, and she'll totally take it and suck on it for a long time. It's really weird. But if she ends up not taking a sucky, I'm perfectly okay with that, because that's just another habit that we don't have to worry about down the road. What else, Kaleigh Bug? Ooh, startled her. When she was born, her hair was almost blonde. It was really crazy because she's part Asian. It's now darkened to a light brown. She opens her eyes so much wider than she did before, and it makes her look so grown up, and she now focuses, and if you shake or rattle, she'll turn and look for it and try and grab it sometimes, and it's crazy, you guys. I just am trying to absorb every single thing that happens and trying to remember, which is why I'm really glad I'm making these videos, because I'm one of those people that I'm in fast forward all the time sometimes. Like I know that I'm one of those people that forgets to kind of slow down and enjoy the scenery. Like I have to remind myself about certain things to do that and at certain times in my life. And like now with her, it's completely different. Like I want to go in slow-mo all the time. But she still constantly has to be doing something with her hands. Because of my high amniotic fluid levels in the preeclampsia, I had to have ultrasounds every week. And they called her the drama queen baby because she always had her hand up over her head somehow. She still does that usually. Right now she's actually in a normal position. She's stretching out. She doesn't lay in the fetal position all the time anymore. She doesn't have her legs bunched up when she's on her back, and she's getting more tolerant of her back. And I have some footage that I'll also put on of her on her changing pad where you guys can see that. She's starting to gurgle and coo and just smile at you when you say something or play with her tickler. Her little feet are ticklish, so is her neck. Goodness. I'm trying to think of what else. She sleeps like a rock star, like in her car seat. So like when I put her in her car seat and then like we'll take her out to the car, she like passes out sometimes just doing that. She sleeps in the stroller when she's in the car seat. Like when we go for walks, she falls asleep. She falls asleep in the car. She's just a really good baby. We've had so many compliments on how what a great baby she is for being so young. And the first like 4 weeks she slept a lot because she was a preemie. She was a big preemie, but she was a preemie because you know, my pediatrician said that that was normal because at first she was just sleeping and eating and pooping and that was it. But now she stays awake more during the day. But she's in newborn clothes and newborn diapers, and we have to go out and get some 0 to 3 months because we actually, when we were discharged from the hospital the first time after I gave birth, we had to get newborn clothes because she was so early and we were expecting such a big baby since she was 90th percentile, and at one point she was off the charts, that everybody bought me 3 to 6 month clothing, and that's what I bought as well. Like when I found out what she was, I went out and shopped for 3 days straight and then filled up her closet with 3 to 6 months and up. So we had to go out and buy our newborn stuff, and now we have to go out and buy our 0 to 3 month stuff. So I'm actually kind of stoked about it because I love shopping for her. But yeah, she just is such a great baby. She's so not fussy. She people hold her and feed her and she doesn't cry. She totally is content with it. She loves being held close and snuggling. And she's just awesome. I mean, I love her to pieces. It's a lot of fun having a baby. So that's my 5-week update, and I'm gonna do some other videos like what's in your diaper bag for newborns, because all of the what's in your diaper bags that I've seen are all like 6 months and up. Like they'll have teething stuff in there and toys and all that stuff, and I don't have to carry any of that for her. So I'm going to do one of those, and I'm still working on my pregnancy journey video because it's a long story, and I'm also doing it not only for other people who want to hear my story, but I'm doing it for me so I can remember my story. So I want to make sure to include everything. So I'll get that up someday. I'm still working on it, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great night. And like I said, stay tuned for my other videos. Bye-bye.